Evil magic zombies. What are they gonna do, bro? They're gonna summon some they're gonna throw the uterus. Reapers, what is good? It's your boy Laser. He's a visor back with another reaction video. He's on the reaction content. It's like Team Deliver that for you guys. He's reacting to 5 doomsday scenarios that the government is secretly preparing for. Guys, if the world ever comes to an end, chaos, bye! Nah, but for real though, like, there's so many scenarios that are probably prepared, like alien invasion, whatever. If you enjoy the reaction content, and you guys want reaction videos to feature, so hit the like button, you subscribe, and you click the notification bell icon, bro. I stream every night on Twitch, with streams. They're fucking amazing. Let's dive straight into this video. Number 5.
Planet Earth is run by the governments and higher powers. There's no denying that. And
you know what's funny, bro? It's funny how I think the irony in this is how the government prepares us for like the end of the world when the government's gonna be the reason the world ends itself. You know what I mean? Like
it or not, it's mostly for our own good, as it would be chaos without them. They sort out many aspects of our daily lives.
Chaos.
Enforcing laws and policies. But there is another side to it all that we do not see, like the US's black budget, which pumps over $50 billion each year into secret projects and missions.
Yeah, secret projects that we'll never know about. But actually, correction, we will know about because chaos is gonna figure it out. But nah, but on some real shit though, it's crazy how like the government has all this money, and Mr. Beast, an absolute fucking legend. I love you, Mr. Beast. You're a fucking legend. Has done more than the government has ever done in its fucking existence. I think the government is a piece of shit. Yeah, I'm not into politics, none of that shit. Believe me, but I just think the government's a piece of shit. And I think Mr. Beast is a fucking legend. He's done more for the world than the government has ever done. You know what I mean?
Now, some of this is highly
confidential,
and some of it can be found. But it just goes to show that we know very little about what goes on behind closed doors. And we would be silly to think that the governments aren't preparing for some interesting scenarios. So, from zombie apocalypse training to getting the most powerful people in the US...
Zombie apocalypse. Guarantee the government would be the one to start the zombie apocalypse. They would be like, bro, oh man. It's crazy how, like, nah.
The sky in a moment's notice, in a specially designed Doomsday plane. Here are 5
Isn't there like a, I'm pretty sure there's like a bunker somewhere located in the world where like all the rich people go if like the world ends or some shit.
The President's Doomsday plane. For the people who have been watching my videos from the start, I have 2 things to say. Thank you so much for supporting this journey up until now, and I'm sorry this Doomsday plane topic is so overdue. You see, I said I would do a video on the President's Doomsday plane back in my Air Force One video, and now...
Wasn't there like a blimp as well? Like, isn't the... Well, I know blimps don't even... Bro, I just realized, like, why did blimps have to go away? Like, I think blimps were so cool. I'm not saying I was, like, bro, I never was on one, obviously, but I just think... Like, I never understood the point of why they, like, blimps just stopped being a thing. I always thought blimps were cool as shit. You know what I mean? I always thought blimps were cool as shit.
Never felt a good opportunity to talk about it until now. There's no denying that the US is the most powerful nation in the world with the most powerful government. And there's no surprise that when things get bad, they are going to have a plan in place to get their key people out of harm's way. To do this, the US
Obama
planes known as Doomsday planes. They are converted 747s that are radiation protected flying presidential offices that have 3 decks and are capable of carrying up to 112 people, which would include the US President, Secretary of Defense, and a handful of other key government personnel. In the event of a meteor strike, a nuclear war, a mass terrorist attack, or even an apocalypse, the planes can be scrambled immediately and can stay in the air for 2 days, with the sole purpose of keeping the US government running whilst in the air. It's a pretty incredible operation because no matter...
Imagine being like a person that like... Imagine, I know it's illegal regardless of what plane you do, but imagine like being one of those fuckers that get a laser and you do it to this plane, bro. Imagine.
Where the president travels outside of North America.
Imagine the consequences.
One, which is his regular presidential plane. One of 4 Doomsday 747s isn't far behind and is always waiting at the nearby airport just in case.
But I just realized that wouldn't make sense.
The planes have 67 antenna and satellite dishes, as well as an EMP and thermal radiation shield. They even have a 5-mile cable that can be dropped from the plane in order to communicate with submerged submarines. But despite us knowing a little about the onboard equipment, and there being a few pictures and videos around, many think the full specs would be highly confidential and classified, and that the photos and videos are of an older, outdated plane. So how did all this even come about? Well, it was the brainchild of President Ronald Reagan, who commissioned the Doomsday planes near the end of the Cold War when tensions were running high and there was a genuine threat.
Wait, wasn't there like, was that just some bullshit Futurama? Wasn't there like a president that had their head like preserved or whatever? Was it Nixon? Or is it, that's real, right? Is that actually real? Like, did he actually get his like shit preserved or whatever? Isn't there like, cause dude, I forgot. I don't know too much about it. Isn't there like a place somewhere on Earth where like there's just a bunch of like preserved bodies or whatever, and like people are like planning on like bringing those bodies back to the, I don't fucking know,
of a nuclear attack. After this, the US authorities didn't talk much about them, but in 2001,
being brought back to life, yeah,
a worldwide mystery.
I would never want to be brought back to life on this shitty planet.
On the morning of September 11th, 2001, many people, including military and government officials, witnessed a plane flying above the White House in Washington, which is a restricted airspace just before the Pentagon was hit. No one has said what the plane was doing, and there is no mention of it in the 9/11 Commission's report.
Did that plane not get blown up?
To this day, even military officials say they do not know what plane it was, but looking at the videos and pictures of it flying around, it looks like the Doomsday plane.
I figured.
But since it was airborne before President Bush had a chance to board it...
No, I figured it would be the Doomsday plane, because if it was any other plane, then like it would literally be shot down. Like,
it's almost certain that he was not on it. So who was, and why was it flying? It's still a mystery. In more recent years, Russian President Vladimir Putin has commissioned his own Doomsday plane, designed to maintain full control over Russia's armed forces in the event of a nuclear attack. And it's believed many other countries want or already have their own planes, ready to protect their most powerful people in the event of a world crisis. We all talk about NASA discovering alien life or being visited by them.
Aliens are real! I'm literally an alien myself, and I swear on my mama, when I say I'm an alien, I'm not doing it just for clout and shit. Like, I'm genuinely an alien. I know I'm an alien. I'm literally like, come on, man. I don't even have to go into detail about it. But I do, like, I'm gonna be for real. Like, everyone stereotypes aliens as like these green motherfuckers. I feel like aliens just look like, bro. They probably just look just like us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an alien myself, so there you go.
And it may have already happened, but the question is there a protocol in place for...
Like, they always stereotype them as like these weird, like, scary creatures. I feel like aliens literally just look like us. Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, I'm saying, like, if there's any other type of aliens out there, like, they probably do look just like us, and they're probably thinking the same shit we're thinking. Like, I don't know, man. I've always said, like, the idea of, like, us just being, like, alone is just as terrifying as, like, life being out there. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we're, like, really the only ones here on this planet out of this entire, like, infinite universe. Because the universe is infinite. It is infinite.
Meeting with aliens,
the universe is literally always expanding. But I'm an alien myself, guys.
Far-fetched, but it's something that the US government has considered. And although it's something that they do not regard as a serious threat to national security, there is still a plan in place. As far as we are aware, the plan is not currently funded by the government and hasn't been since the early 1990s, but there is a non-governmental organisation set up by the International Academy of Astronautics. In their own words, is to prepare, reflect on, manage, advise and consult in preparation for a putative signal of extraterrestrial intelligence origin.
See, like, on some real shit, I don't think an alien apocalypse will ever happen, but I could see, like, a nuclear apocalypse happen, you know, like a fallout. I could definitely see. A fallout's, like, the most, like, logical and, like, most expected when you think about it. Because when you think about it, if the world actually does, I mean, the world is going to end one day. It's guaranteed to happen. Like, the sun is going to explode one day. A meteor is going to probably hit. Like, obviously, the world's not going to be here forever, bro. If you think the Earth's going to be here forever, you're fucking stupid. It's not. You know, it's obviously not going to be anything in our lifetime, but, like, the world's definitely going to end. If it does end, it's going to be either because of us, like, we're going to be the ones that just end the world, or it's going to be, fucking, like, some asteroid or, like, the sun explodes, some shit like that. I don't think a sci-fi apocalypse would ever happen. I think a sci-fi apocalypse would be fucking cool as shit, though. Like, if the world did end, I would want it to be a sci-fi apocalypse, but I think that would be sick as shit. People say zombie apocalypse. Nah, I want a sci-fi apocalypse. I think that would be sick.
And should anything be detected that indicates we are not alone, then the SETI, which is funded by the government, would be notified so they can carry out their own research and, if need be, make a national announcement. That is the official protocol released to the public of what would happen. However, it's believed that the Pentagon has more classified plans...
Obama!
...extraterrestrial contact...
Violent,
...violent, peaceful, needy or helpful. But it's not just the US. Many other countries, including the UK, apparently have plans in place for such a thing. Nick Pope, who was a former advisor for the UK's Ministry of Defence for 21 years, who used to investigate UFO reports to see if there was any evidence of a threat, claims that the country has a host of weapons to defend the world against...
Is that Marilyn Monroe?
He said that although the government's position is that there is no significant defence threat, we simply do not know, meaning we would be silly not to have a plan in place for such a thing. Stephen Hawking has said that if aliens did come to Earth...
Stephen Hawking is an absolute legend, guys. Beep boop. I can't. How did I saw someone do the impression on it on like TikTok? It actually made me laugh as shit. I don't think I can do it though.
They would no doubt be far more advanced than us and would be looking to conquer and colonize whatever planets they could reach. This is one that although we may love to meet aliens,
it's a blimp.
We already have, we cannot instantly assume they would be as hostile and friendly as we would like them to be.
Dude, don't disrespect my con like that, bitch. We are friendly. Shut up. We literally are fucking friendly, bro. Like...
And it seems the government and NASA are fully aware of this. What if a massive meteorite hit Earth today? In truth, it would only need
this
to
is
be
like
a mile wide to cause some seriously bad...
Dude, I know I'm pausing the video a lot. I'm just ranting and giving my points because I want to add value to the videos, bro. Like, I'm not going to be one of those fuckers that add no value to the reaction videos. Like most YouTubers, especially some that recently have been... banned. But I feel like this is like the most this one and a Fallout are the most logical ways I feel like the world could end.
Bad damage. The energy it would generate would be equal to a 1 million megaton bomb, so it's very unlikely
a post-war little boy model.
That
doesn't look like a little boy.
Close to extinction video.
Big sucker.
This is and hasn't been a million miles away from happening. Take the asteroid 1997 XF11 for example. It's predicted that in 2028, it will come very close to Earth, and although it's expected to miss the planet...
Come close to Earth, yeah. They say this shit every fucking week, bro. And close to Earth is, like, equivalent to, like, fucking, 50 million miles away, you know what I mean? That's close to Earth, according to NASA. But on some real shit, I do believe, like, there'll be one day where I feel like an asteroid or meteor, whatever the fuck you call it, will actually come fucking close, you know what I mean?
If it does alter its path, then it would be on course for destruction. So what do we have in place to protect us from such a thing? Thankfully, NASA are on the case. They have a Planetary Defense Coordination Office whose sole purpose is to ensure the early detection of potentially hazardous objects. These include asteroids and comets that are predicted to bring them within 0.05 astronomical units of Earth, which is about 4.6 million miles. Potential threats are constantly tracked, so warnings can be issued if potential hazards are on course for Earth. These are then redirected, depending on the scenario, by a handful of asteroid deflection strategies. To name a few, a rocket motor could be attached to it, driving it onto a new path. A nuclear explosion could be detonated on, above, or behind the hazard, pushing it off course, or a bomb could blow it to pieces. In fact, in early 2016, Russia said they were going to utilize some of their missiles left over from the Cold War to have on hand just in case they needed to blow up asteroids before they became a threat to Earth.
That's
However,
a big
with all this,
sucker, man.
And even asteroid 1997 XF11 being a possible threat in 2028.
You want to know the scariest thing though about like this like actually happening? It would be like the effects, you know, like I guarantee this would cause massive tsunamis and shit, bro. That's like one of my worst fears, bro. Like it's probably that's always been one of my worst fears, bro. That's kind of why I hate the ocean, tsunamis and shit. But like the idea of just dying from like some massive tsunami that's like the size of like a fucking skyscraper, bro, terrifies me. Like that's so terrifying. That's always been like one of my worst fears, bro. Like I'm not saying it's something you have to ever worry about, but like damn, it's like that's probably like the worst way to die. Like that's gotta be that's scary as shit. Like just getting killed by some massive ass tsunami.
It's said that hazardous asteroids have a less than 0.1%
Kiss your asteroid goodbye? Okay.
In the next 100 years. If that statistic was to change, however, it's nice to know that we have enough in place to prevent any serious damage. Nuclear war threat. This one could go two ways: the prevention of a nuclear war or World War III.
This is the one that's this one's reasonable.
Triggered. Now, before I get started, you should first know that there are 9 countries that have successfully...
And I'm gonna be for real, bro. Like, I feel like if a nuclear fallout does ever happen, And I'm not going to say it because somehow people are going to get offended by it. But I mean, I'm just going to speak the truth. I feel like it would be us, bro. Like, I feel like the United States would be the reason a fallout would happen. You know what I mean? Us or North Korea.
Detonated nuclear weapons. Russia, China, France, the UK,
Or Russia.
USA, India,
Now, actually, any country could do it, but
Israel, and
I feel like we're the most likely, you know
Together
what I
they
mean?
have more than 15,000 nuclear weapons.
To start
more than
it.
enough to destroy every human on Earth. And with around 2,000 of those being on high alert status, meaning they can be launched within a few minutes, what protocols are in place to stop something happening? Now, I thought whilst researching this subject there would be loads of treaties and agreements between countries to prevent an all-out nuclear war. However, I was shocked to find only one prevention, and that was signed in Washington on June the 22nd, 1973, and was created to reduce the chance of a nuclear war between the United States and the then USSR. The two countries agreed to minimize the threat of a war and agree on a policy to restrain hostility. Both parties agreed that if there is a danger of a nuclear confrontation between them or any other country, they are committed to consulting with each other in order to avoid this risk. But that's pretty much the only formal prevention protection in place. Of course, if one country did go crazy and...
I think, like, the worst part about Fallout, bro, is just the radiation, you know what I mean? Like, the radiation is the fucked up thing about it.
launch a nuclear attack, I'm sure the most powerful...
Dying by radiation's gotta be the worst way to go, hands down.
But to put it simply, there isn't a disclosed plan B.
When you
It's
realize...
said that a nuclear war cannot be won and could signal the destruction of civilization, making parts or all of Earth uninhabitable. And with the ongoing threat of terrorists being able to access nuclear weapons and nuclear dangers on the rise, it would be nice to think that there was a more robust plan in place.
A Fallout would be the end of the world,
At
like...
least if there is, it hasn't been made public.
It would be the most
Now, I'd
reasonable
like
way.
to think there is a highly confidential plan in case of an attack, and I'm sure there is. But for now, we can all be thankful that a nuclear attack is said to be a very unlikely worst-case scenario.
Well, I mean, someone could literally just... It's crazy to think, like, it could happen so easily, bro, you know what I mean? Like, it's scary to think, in a way. Number 1.
The Pentagon zombie apocalypse training.
Zombie!
I love zombies, and although me and you probably don't really want it to happen...
No, look, bro. When I was a little kid, I mean, I don't know why, but, like, I never... People have always... There's some people out there that actually want a zombie apocalypse to happen. Like, they say it's cool and shit. Fuck no, bro. I'd rather have a sci-fi apocalypse. I never really rocked with a zombie apocalypse, you know what I mean? Go check out my song Zombie Apocalypse on all platforms. Nah, but, I think, like, if a zombie apocalypse did happen, like, hopefully it wouldn't be, like, World War Z type zombies, you know what I mean? Like, it would be, like, more like Walking Dead zombies. Like, well, The Walking Dead is crazy, bro. Bro, that's the thing I hate about The Walking Dead. I remember when the show was actually about zombies, it went from about zombies to more just human wars. Like, that sucks, bro. I remember the first few seasons when it was actually about zombies. Like, the zombies were the main focus. And then the zombies just became a side thing. And that's the thing I hate about The Walking Dead, bro. Just fucking dog shit. Became so shit in the later seasons. But I remember when, like, Rick was entering, like, Atlanta or whatever. That was, like, when the zombies were real fast. Like, I remember they were really fast in the beginning. And then they just became weak in the end. But, like, you know what I mean?
We've thought that it would be pretty cool to have a zombie apocalypse and be fighting the undead. Well, if you're looking for a guide on how to do this, what better place to look than an official Pentagon training manual? It started in 2014 when an extraordinary guide was uncovered that gives details of how to survive a zombie apocalypse. The unclassified document dated the 30th of April 2011 and called CONOP 8888 details contingency plans for an onslaught and how to preserve the sanctity of human life.
Evil magic zombies, what are they gonna do, bro? They're gonna summon some, they're gonna throw their uterus. They're gonna pull rabbits out of their hats. Is a zombie gonna bite my pee-pee and it's gonna go like this? Is my pee-pee gonna start eating people? I mean, shit, can someone eat my pee-pee? Please.
Among all the non-zombie humans. This is no made-up hoax either, it's a genuine 50-plus page report that talks about everything you could expect. Now, I can't read the whole thing out, but it talks about how to kill a zombie by destroying the brain and then burning the body, how to deal with a zombie outbreak in various different places, and the different type of zombies. It also says that after being infected, a human will turn into a zombie within 30 to 40 days.
Bro, what the
It
fuck?
talks about chicken zombies, which sound crazy.
Chicken zombies?
There's a source link at the bottom of the Pentagon report of this actually happening. The link page talks about old hens that have been euthanized by farmers with carbon monoxide, that have been buried and then clawed their way back to the surface. It's really an interesting read for any zombie fans, and you forget that the people at the Pentagon, the headquarters of the United States Department of Defense, are the ones who wrote it.
Okay, bro, if I was that house in the middle, I would feel so damn safe. Is there Wi-Fi?
So why did they spend the time to do this? The official explanation for this
Got a
document
maze
is that it's a
runner.
training tool used in an in-house training exercise, where students learn about the basic concepts of military plans and order development through a fictional training scenario, which makes it less boring and easier to take in the information. Of course, some people believe that it's a cover-up and the government are preparing for a zombie outbreak, and if they are, then they're not alone. Apparently, Britain also has a plan, set up in response to a worried member of the public, although the Ministry of Defence denies this claim, leaving us in the dark, until of course, when the time comes where some chemical or disease starts infecting the world.
Zombie!
I will
Kiss
finish
me.
this off with the final words in the Pentagon report.
Imagine kissing a zombie.
Every human that becomes a zombie increases the enemy's numbers and decreases the chances that healthy humans will survive. So
Damn, it's crazy. Well, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, how do you think the world would end? Like, what would be the most reasonable outcome? If you enjoy the reaction content, more reaction videos like the features, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!